Okay, again, Tom Werner made the news this offseason in a bad way when he said that the Red Sox were going to go, quote-unquote, full throttle this offseason, words that will live in infamy and will haunt him now forever. So the point is, we've had a lot of these in Boston over the years, phrases, comments from people in and around sports, specifically executives, owners, athletes, who've said something that they have then come to regret because it made them look like a jackass. So we've decided to focus on those. We did them in three tiers. I tried to limit them to 15, so 5 each roughly per tier. Tier 3, Jimmy Stewart. Kenny Sims, former defensive end of the Patriots, was asked why he didn't like to practice. He said, I'll be there on game day. I'll be there on game day became an infamous phrase for Kenny Sims. In fact, he became Mike, known as Kenny Game Day Sims, who sucked on game day, played 8 years for the Patriots and made 17 tackles.
I wouldn't have had that one anyway. I forgot that was his. That's a good one.
Okay, Pedro Martinez. Jimmy Stewart, hit it.
I mean, what can I say? Just tip my hat and call the Yankees my daddies.
Call the Yankees my daddies. He never lived that one down. He went to Yankee Stadium and got taunted by that crowd there. Theo Epstein, 2010. Red Sox won with 89, or finished with 89 wins that year. Theo Epstein called it a bridge year. The term has now forever been coined. Theo, I remember, regretted it badly. He said, I never should have said bridge year. That one is stuck to his forehead. It'll never go away. Dan Duquette, 2007. I'm sorry, no, not 2007, 2000.
This was a good one.
We spent more days in first place than any team in the division.
I love that one.
More days in first place.
More days in first.
He'll never live that one down. And Bill Belichick, talking about Tom Brady playing the AFC Championship game just a few years back with a bad thumb after ripping up his thumb in practice in the week leading up to the game. We're not talking about open heart surgery here. Just one of the things that got added to the list that were held against Belichick with regard to his relationship with Tom Brady.
I mean, that was peak Palace Q right there, and I think that's a quote that helped alienate Tom Brady and really fracture that relationship. That one came and bit him in the ass.
Definitely. Tier 2. Let's go right to Tier 2, Jimmy Stewart.
Love it.
Yeah.
Now, some of these, for the purposes of the simulcast, we had to leave out the actual words. Kyrie Irving was asked about Thanksgiving. He said, F Thanksgiving.
I love it. Only man on the planet who doesn't like Thanksgiving. In fact, Thanksgiving can go F itself.
In fact, Kyrie Irving really comes on the list a couple of times. This one also happened when he was walking off the floor in a road game and someone yelled down to him. Jimmy Stewart hit it.
Kyrie, where's LeBron? Who said that?
That was all he said was, where's LeBron?
Yep.
To which he got a S my.
So again, it's a little tough to hear, but S my D is what Kyrie Irving said. Bill Belichick, again on the list. Bill Belichick, during his 2009 Football Life special, I won't be like Marv Levy in coaching into my 70s. You won't have to worry about that. Well, guess what? Neither will you, Bill. Because the Atlanta Falcons passed on him today for Raheem Morris. Belichick has told people that it's one of the worst things he's ever said. He regrets making that remark.
Interesting.
Let's see.
Lou Gorman.
Lou Gorman.
You need to tell the story first quickly for the youngins.
Willie McGee was getting traded at this trade deadline.
Willie McGee was a center fielder for the Cardinals. Fast, athletic kid.
Switch hitting batting champion.
Okay,
and he was available on the trade market. He ended up going to the Oakland A's, who were loaded. Lou Gorman was asked about trading for Willie McGee and said, where would we put him?
Great one.
Red Sox had a dreadful offense in those years. And back in 2010, after the Bruins blew a 3-0 lead to the Philadelphia Flyers, Peter Chiarelli was asked about the team's collapse and said this.
We're one of 5 teams to have been in the second round both years.
Oh, isn't that nice? We lost 3-0. We blew a 3-0 lead, but at least we got into the second round.
I mean, that's the verbal equivalent of the Colts AFC finalist banner. Something like that's so bad.
Horrible. And it's the equivalent of more days in first place.
Yeah. Same comment.
Yeah, it's really what it is. And that one stuck to Chiarelli, although they did win the Cup that year. So, I mean, the next season.
Yeah.
Okay, tier one. This is an exclusive group. Again, these are words that will live in infamy. We'll start with the comment that actually prompted this whole list today. If we could, Jimmy Stewart, Tom Werner.
Is now the right time in your mind to spend, or does the team need to get a little closer with the young players?
We know that we have to be competitive next year, so we're going to be competitive next year.
So you're not waiting for the younger guys to get a little closer and the team to be there's sort of levels.
You know that we're going to have to be full throttle in every possible way.
And their payroll went down.
That's not going away. I'm telling you, there are going to be hats, T-shirts, all kinds of stuff, signs, full throttle. That one is sticking around. This next one to me, it's a little bit of a longer cut like the one we just played, but it is really one of the true benchmarks, particularly in sports radio in the city of Boston over the last, call it 3 decades.
All-timer.
It is an all-timer. It really might be number one on the list. I'm not even going to say who it is because you'll know. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Larry Bird's not walking through that door, fans. Kevin McHale's not walking through that door, and Robert Parrish is not walking through that door. And if you expect them to walk through the door, they're going to be gray and old. And all this negativity that's in this town sucks. And I've been around, and when Jim Rice was booed, I've been around when Yastrzemski booed, and it stinks. It makes the greatest town, greatest city in the world lousy. And if you think I'm going to succumb to negativity, you're wrong. You got the wrong guy leading this basketball team.
So the Fellowship of the Miserable line was in a separate.
It was different.
Was it a different press conference altogether, or a different part of the rant?
I think it was actually in a radio interview.
Yeah.
This one was in a press conference.
Rick.
It was with Glenn.
Rick.
Of course it was with Glenn. Glenn did everything in that time.
Tell us why your team sucks.
Rick, I've defended you. I'm on your side this time.
Our listeners want to know why you're so terrible. Okay, these last 3 we'll do quickly. Roger Clemens, back in the spring of 1989, was asked about some of the problems between players and ownership and management in the organization as it relates to some of the perks for players, got into things about the wives' room, the family room, and he said, travel, road trips, and carrying your luggage around isn't all fun and glory. Roger Clemens carrying his own bags became a thing that hung around his neck for his entire career in Boston, never went away. John Henry, when Theo Epstein resigned. This is a great, great loss. I have to ask myself, maybe I'm not fit to be the principal owner of the Boston Red Sox.
That's a good one.
Okay, and I would say to
that's
John
come
Henry,
home to roost.
Well, there are a lot of people that now have the same thought. The Bill Belichick, finally, and this one actually came up at the beginning of the year, and I think this is underrated, but it belongs on this list. Bill Belichick, when asked why fans should feel optimistic entering 2023, the last 25 years. Patriots went 4-13. Belichick lost his job, and now no one will hire him. So how do you like that? Those are the most regrettable comments in Boston sports over the last, call it 30 years.
Can I have you one you missed?
Sure.
We all know Tom's age and contract situation.
So another one.
Oh, yeah.
Another one. Good one. Very, very good.
That one I gave you, too, about Brady at the press conference before the Super Bowl loss to the Giants. When he said 17 points, that's all we're going to score? Like, the Giants used that as fuel.
Well, that's
Absolutely.
what Brady said.
Yeah.
That was Brady's. Yeah. So good one, Mazz. Excellent.
That's good.
It's always fun to have a little audio to play.